And joining me now is Republican Congresswoman from Florida, Ros-Lehtinen, who will be in the House chamber for the Prime Minister's address. Congresswoman, thanks for being with me this morning.
Thank you, Jose. It's a pleasure.
So let me ask you what the president just did. You know, given what's going on, the Iranian talks, topic of Netanyahu, why give Netanyahu the podium today in Congress?
Well, I think the personal tone of what the president just said is the part that is destructive, to use Susan Rice's word when she was describing Netanyahu's speech. It is not destructive and it's not personal when we invite the leader of our greatest ally in the Middle East, this oasis of democracy in a desert of tyranny, to come and speak to us about the existential threat that Iran poses to our greatest ally. It is not right for President Obama to take this tone. And Speaker Boehner used the same protocol to invite the Prime Minister as he did to invite the Pope. The President didn't complain about protocol there. As he invited the President of Afghanistan to come and speak before us, the President is not complaining about that. He's just complaining about Netanyahu. So for the President, it's very personal. I think this is about policy. We should rise above personalities.
Congresswoman, I think that the President's point, though, would it have been proper for the Democrats that controlled the Capitol Hill when the Iraq war broke out to bring in someone who opposed that war, like the president at the time in France, or any number of world leaders who thought that it was a mistake to go into Iraq? I mean, isn't there a similarity in that? I mean, because right now, Secretary of State Kerry is talking to the Iranians about this.
Well, I think that the president puts up a false choice there. First of all, those leaders were with us. We had a bipartisan coalition to go into Iraq. So to make it seem as if the Democrats were on this side and the Republicans were on the other side, it's just false. That's not the historical fact. And yes, the president and our Secretary of State, John Kerry, are in negotiations, in secret negotiations with Iran, and that's exactly what the problem is here. This is the International Atomic Energy Agency just this week, Jose, just yesterday, said Iran is not complying inspections. So if the supervising agency that's supposed to control what is happening in Iran says that Iran is already violating the terms, can you imagine the violations that are going to happen when this secret deal becomes public? Iran is getting away with a lot, and just like in every deal this administration makes, it's always a bad deal for the United States and a good deal for the others.
Congresswoman, let me ask you about Venezuela. You made the Venezuelan leader, Nicolás Maduro's terrorist short list something you said you're proud of, and in a way, how can this bring more attention to what's happening in Venezuela right now? As you can see, there's a long anti-terrorist list that the Venezuelan government has put out. What's going on there?
Well, it is just absurd. I'm proud to be on this list because I've got good company: Marco Rubio, Bob Menendez, Mario Diaz-Balart, and others who have joined the fight to get violators of human rights in Venezuela not be able to come to the United States and freeze their assets and freeze any financial transactions. You know, just a few days ago, Jose, a 14-year-old teenager was shot in the head and killed by Maduro's thugs, and he was just on his way to school. They thought he was part of a peaceful protest, but now these thugs have their right to shoot anyone who's in a peaceful protest. Shame on us for not putting all the sanctions against these violators. I've now been banned in Nicaragua, banned in Venezuela, all because we want human rights to be respected in these countries. So I want all of the sanctions that we passed with the great help of Bob Menendez and Marco Rubio be imposed on these thugs so that they don't have the privilege of coming here to visit Mickey Mouse on vacation.
Congresswoman Ros-Lehtinen, thank you for being with me. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Jose. Good day.
And now,
Thank you.
let's frame the debate.